Sweet. All right. Okay, so that was a pretty good putt. Putts right, you miss a lot of putts left. You said your speed was not all that great.
I tend to pull them a lot.
Pull them a lot?
Yeah, especially the short putts.
Okay. So I can already tell you why that happened. I think we worked on full swing a couple times together.
Right.
And we were talking a lot about alignment.
Right.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So your alignment, go ahead and get set up to the ball. Go ahead and step back. Actually behind me. Yeah. So see where my hand's pointing?
Left.
Left.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when you say that you're pulling putts, that's where the putter head, your lines are crossed.
Okay.
So like in the golf swing, alignment is just as important when you're putting as it is in the golf swing.
Okay.
So let's try and get you set up a little bit more left with your feet.
Left? More left with my feet?
A little bit more left with your feet.
Okay.
Because what's ended up happening is because your feet are pointed right, and then for you to get the ball started on the line that you want it on, you have to aim left.
Okay. Good here?
It looks pretty good, yeah. Okay. Okay. Do it again.
So you want me to line up left?
I want your feet lined up more left.
Okay. Feels like that.
Because your feet were lined up. Did you see how far your feet were lined up right? They were lined up just to the outside of the hole.
Okay.
And remember the railroad track analogy?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty good putt. Give it a run. You're going up the hill.
Okay.
Solid.
What is this deal?
It's a camera.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So help me understand this, Jack. But if I'm pointing left,
Yep.
aren't I gonna?
It's gonna give your hands more room to get through.
Okay.
So what was going on is you were lined up with your feet right at the target.
Okay.
For you to get the ball going left of the target,
Right.
which is what you need. This
Right.
putt goes left to right. You had to shut the face down.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why you ended up pulling a bunch of putts.
Okay. Well, let me ask you. I understand that left to right. So let's say it was a right to left. Is it still the same concept?
Right to left, it's still the same concept. I haven't seen you hit a right to left putt yet.
Okay.
But in all likelihood, you were still aimed too far right.
Okay.
The point I'm trying to make is that you don't want to have to manipulate the stroke, either the angle of the club face or the stroke direction, because your feet are lined up incorrectly.
Yeah, I'm leaving those short.
You are. Did you see how high that bounced though?
Yeah.
It hopped off the ground.
Yeah.
So I want you to envision hitting it right here.
Okay.
Okay. That's a good putt. Right here, Arnold. Okay.
Hit it there.
That you got it there. That's all right. I'd rather see that right now. What would you say your grip pressure is?
I'm trying to.
Now for the number 10C, the Garrison group. Now for the number 10C, the Garrison group, followed by the right.
Yeah, I'd like to see it more
Followed by
like a
the right.
3. Okay.
There you go.
And I don't want it as much of a hit
Okay.
as it is a stroke.
That was a hit, right?
That was a hit. There was a lot of jerk in that. There we go. That was a stroke. Now we just have to, the tempo has to be a little smoother. So the difference between...
Like on that one, I felt myself tensing up at the end.
You did?
Yeah.
Because you were worried about getting it to the hole?
I guess.
Yeah.
Either that or because Elsie was watching. She was putting the pressure on.
Okay. So actually feel the stroke. A little bit longer, a little bit smoother.
Okay.
Okay. A little bit of hit in that. You can tell when you hit a really solid putt because you get it to the hole and you get it about 4 or 5 feet by. Okay. So Arnold, what happens is
Still feel tension.
okay. We're talking about a couple things here. We've talked about a couple things. One, I need you to finish on the line where you're trying to get the ball to go to.
Okay.
So when you miss it, you've hit a lot of really good putts where you've missed it on the high side.
Right.
I think that's because we've opened up your stance a little bit,
Right.
and that's helped you out.
Okay.
But the putts where you miss it way right,
Right.
what ends up happening is you just kind of shove the putter in.
Okay.
Okay, that was a good stroke.
Yeah, that felt better.
That was a really good stroke. So I want you to think about that sort of tempo.
Okay.
The tempo that you had in that stroke. There we go. Back to back. That one's going to go in. Ooh.
Yeah, that felt better.
Both of those. Both of those, the tempo was really good. It was the same, too. So, same thing. Okay.
How should we use that?
Okay. So what did you get out of that?
Well, I can see you talk about my feet where they're pointing. I feel like I'm getting more through the ball, like you were talking about.
Yep.
And then loosen up my grip and then the tempo part of it, and then the stroke part.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, you're right. Before I felt like it was just kind of hitting the ball.
Yep.
Opposed to
Yeah.
stroke.
And I don't want you ever finishing up here like this.
Okay.
We always want to finish with our
Yeah, I
hands.
felt a couple times I was doing that.
Yeah.
You said keep it low, right?
You always want to finish with your hands low.
Okay.
But at the same time, when you get all crisscross with your line,
Right.
it's tough to make a good smooth stroke.
Okay.
It's tough to make a solid follow through. You end up stopping it short because you feel restricted by your body.
Okay.
So all sorts of weird things can happen. So I think just by opening up your stance a little bit, it's going to help you roll the ball a little better.
Okay. But what about right to left? Is it the same? I mean,
Right to left, so let's see you hit a right to left putt. You don't have to go so far away.
Okay.
So the best putters in the world, they're working on putts inside of 8 feet,
Okay.
and then they're hitting some 30-footers. Okay, so Arnold, if you were to hit that putt on your lines here,
right,
that ball should start over here.
Okay.
That far. Because your feet are lined up right here.
Okay.
That's a lot of break, man. Whoa!
Too much, right?
You went even more.
Okay.
So I'm thinking you want your feet lined up at the cup.
Okay.
So we still have them over here. Let's
Still
get
over
your
there?
feet. Let's get your feet even more to the left. There we go.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And now the putt's gonna start right here.
Okay.
That was a good roll, though. Did you see the ball roll end over in there?
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot?
Okay.
Not as much as you'd like?
Not as much as I'd like.
There we go.
It went up again.
Okay. Do you see that, though?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how important the lines are, especially.
It feels weird, though. I feel like I'm.
Oh yeah.
Pointing this way.
It's gonna feel weird. But you're not. Your feet, even now, Arnold, your feet are lined up over here. I'd rather have your feet lined up over here. We've already figured out that this putt doesn't break very much.
Right.
No, you're good. So you're trying to hit this thing right here.
Okay.
Okay. Not bad. That one started about at the cup.
Okay.
Okay. So the stance is really important. I think that's probably the most important thing for you right now.
All right.
All right, big guy, you're up.